you are going to have an opportunity to come up and act out your own solution. So you are going to replace the main character in the scene of your choosing, and we're going to see how that goes. We're going to have some interventions and some practical application, because sometimes we can talk about things, but being in said position and being in that role, even if you aren't a student or whatever, it brings up some different kind of things. Even as she shared, like, oh, I'm a teacher. I realized, I did this. I'm sure you have a wealth of experience in teaching, but seeing our little play, it's like, oh, huh. So it's the same kind of being in that position as well. So a couple of guidelines, rules sound so formal, but a couple of guidelines for how we are going to interact. I'm coming to your group first, Ms. Beasley. A couple of guidelines to how we are going to interact. One, whatever is true for the character is true for you. So like you can't come in and be like, oh, well, my father is a millionaire and owns a yacht, so I can do what I want. Like, no, that's not these kids. So yeah, not in our play, not in our play. So what's true for the characters are true for you. You can't come up and like create your own scene. So what's true for them is true for you. And the other thing as well is that only the protagonists are able to be replaced, because we don't want to just be like, oh, I'm gonna come be the coach and now I'm gonna be nice and I wrote to whoever I needed to write to and like now issue resolved, because that's not real life either. So that being said, who has an idea that they would like to try? I know, but you didn't. I know you warmed us up, Miss Beasley. Then you can, who has an idea that they would like to try? That group. Listen, y'all. Y'all saw how quiet it got? Y'all been in here talking for like 7 minutes. Now all of a sudden I'm asking for interventions. Nobody have nothing to say. Boy. Y'all were back here talking for a minute too. Who up here has an idea? What are some of the things? What's something that y'all thought about? They have a good one. I know y'all had the support thing. Y'all were all together. I'm interested. I want to hear from some students in particular. Who you got? Oh, you and I heard you. Yep. Come on up for us. You felt, yep. You were like, do you want to? They'd be like, oh, she should go. Come on up. Who are we welcoming to the stage?
Who?
Who are we welcoming to the stage? What's your name?
Oh, Tatiana.
Tatiana?
Huffman High School.
Huffman High School. What grade are you in?
10th grade.
10th grade. Come on up, Tatiana. Woo! Let's give it up for our first spectator. Woo! Thank you, Tatiana, for being brave. She may be like, oh, they grown. I'm like kind of here with the leaders of the whatchamacallit. I think I may have to. I don't even know. Thank you, Tatiana. Tell us, which scene do you want to take it from?
The restroom scene.
The restroom scene. Okay. And Gary, can I have another mic, please? Actually, it's okay. You can have mine. Here you go. The restroom scene. And I'm sorry, do you want to take it from the top of the scene? It does. You have an intervention, so you have to tell me. I don't know what you got planned. The top of the scene? Okay. Come over to the side for us, and you're going to come in. Let's give it up for Tatiana. Oh, look, I'm walking. I'm like, we have some friends, and there's nobody behind me. Man, it's tough. Tell me your name.
Lily.
Oh, you saw that? She said it with confidence. Okay, Lily, what grade are you in?
10.
10. And I think everybody is at Huffman, right? You came, so all from Huffman High School. Your name?
Samari.
Grade?
10.
10th. Okay, let's give it up for Lily and Samari. Woo, okay, come on back. Come on back. Come on with the come on. For our first intervention. So 1, 2, 3.
Well, it's supposed to be across the street, like later on today. I think I might try out for basketball.
Okay.
What are y'all gonna do after school?
Why is this door closed? Well, I'm gonna need y'all to come out.
We're in the restroom for a reason, and you're opening a girl's restroom.
Yeah, but I'm the authority here. So can y'all come out, please?
Sir, we're girls and you open a girl's restroom. You are a grown man. Why are you opening a girl's restroom?
Because I'm the principal, and what I say is right. So come out.
So everything you say to us is right.
All right, then. I'll call y'all parents. Y'all can go home.
And you think my mom gonna be on your side?
All right, hold on. Let me go get y'all a teacher. Y'all coming out this restroom.
Thank you. Let's give it up. Let's give it up. Let's give it up. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Thank you. Thank you, guys. So somebody tell me, and y'all can have a seat. Let's give another round of applause for our volunteers. Thank you. Thank you. So somebody tell me, what did they try in a specific time? What was their tactic? What did they try? And actually, Lana, can you come up here with me, please? Thank you. Will you run the mic? Thank you. What did they try? And if you just raise your hand, Lana will come to you and answer. Oh, the baby's dancing. I was like, okay, little girl, go on. Come on. What was something that they tried? Go ahead.
Defiance.
Defiance. Okay, so defiance is a strategy. Okay, anybody else?
Adult with adult. You think my mama gonna feel like you?
Okay, adult with adult. And what would you name that? What would that be?
I don't know. I don't know. Directive, like, you know,
Yeah.
replacing the responsibility on an adult and not having that confrontational conversation with the student, because
Okay.
That would be deflection. That's another way to put it.
Okay, deflection. Okay, and like you said, not having but appealing to a higher power, which mama is always the higher power, so yes.
I heard more confidence or maybe empowerment.
Okay, cool. How did this change the principal? He walked away?
Yeah, he walked away.
Okay, so do we feel like this? Oh, go ahead. I see. Get it off of me. You said get it off of me? Go ahead, Miss Easy. Let Landon bring you the mic.
I just felt like he was like, you know, since he couldn't, his authority did not reign. And when she said, well, I'm going to just tell my mom, I'm going to let her handle that, how you know, handle this situation. I'm going to let her handle it. And so in his mind, you know what? I'm going to get this off of me. Miss Smith, call the girls back.
Okay. Do these register with people? Do you think raise your hand by show of hands if you think what they tried worked. Okay, I see some hands. Okay, you think it worked? Do you think that this is something that would work for everybody? And do raise your hand because I can hear you, but raise your hand so that Atlanta can bring you the microphone because we want to make sure everybody else can hear you too.
Speaking as an educator with nearly 17 years experience, this situation is not as cut and dry as we sitting in here pretending that it is. On one hand, you do really, really want these young ladies to have the privacy and the respect that they deserve. On the other hand, you don't want a building administrator's authority to be called into question at any time. A student should be able to follow those directions from an administrator without a problem, particularly since the majority of administrators are not going to do anything to put a student in harm. The second side of that coin is, in a lot of school districts, we're really, really good at coming up with policies and no procedures. So while we say, for example, tank top t-shirts are against dress code policy, there's no procedure for a young female student to appeal an administrator's decision when that administrator says, you need to go change clothes or call your mom to bring you some clothes when the young man just got away with it. So it's a lot of things that go into each one of the skits in the play today are really, really loaded, so it's not as cut and dry as we're trying to make them right now.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, thank you for offering that. And we definitely are. I'm gonna be looking for you to come, come advocate for some things up here. I definitely agree. Again, we're just presenting the problem, so we're leaving it to you all to see what are the ways in which, we can address these things. But thank you for sharing that. I think that is, that's valid. Any other thoughts? Anybody register with that, or that feels some of that? Marion is like, semi. Whoever's clapping backstage, please stop.
I think the thing I'm thinking about is if in the moment it works, great. It's not going to work next week. And what does retaliation potentially look like? I think the gentleman's point here is, what is the procedure for the young ladies to be able to say, A, this is wrong, what are my other options? So is it a Miss Smith coming through to actually be the one having the conversation with us, because I feel more comfortable with an older woman being in here, not an older gentleman. So
Yeah.
I think I'm thinking about retaliation, I'm thinking about procedure, I'm thinking about what happens after this particular moment for this long term.
Got you. Thank you for that. Y'all trying to wait before anybody else gives me like a policy suggestion. We'll get to that. Y'all trying to get out of acting. Y'all not slick. Who else has another intervention that they would like to try? And I think that those are great, and we will get to that piece too, because again, we're not here just to talk about the problems or just to point fingers or whatnot. These are issues that they've addressed that are true to them, and it's something that we want to do something about. So we're here trying to find solutions, not point fingers or just Miss Beasley. Hesitant.
A lot of times I was trying to take myself back, and it's been almost 60 years now, 50 years since I've been in school. But when you feel like you've been taught that the adults are right, respect adults, and then when a child comes from a home where they don't have, I was just sharing this with Leonta earlier, some of these kids have never been taught how to love. They've never been caressed, and I'm getting emotional because I realize this is what I do at 3. And I'm so glad we can hug now. I'm so glad we can take the mask off. And I was just telling Neonta that some of these kids, they don't get hugged. They've never been told, I love you. We were on a field trip the other day, and some of the kids had never seen outside of the Woodlawn or wherever they live communities. So it's deeper than a policy and a procedure. And we all need to be trained. We all need to be trained, and especially administration, because we're expecting these things to get done. And so we have some kids that just don't know any better. They don't know how to advocate because we're not teaching them to advocate. We're just telling them. We're not teaching them how to advocate. So I just need to say that.
Thank you for sharing that, Ms. Beasley. Okay. Who are you coming? You telling me about a scene that you want to come up in? Okay, cool. Okay, we're going to give you the last comment, and we're going to get to our interventions, because I want to see what ideas you have as we talk about these things, because we can sit and chat, but what are your ideas in the moment to see what we can do?
It wasn't about the fact that we was told to get out the bathroom. It was the fact that a male came in the bathroom, because we got that at Huffman every day. The lady coming there tell us to get out the bathroom, whatever, but it's the lady, and the man came in there. It wasn't about the fact we had to get out the bathroom. It was the fact that the man came in there. So, yeah.
Thank you for sharing that. Thank you for sharing that. I'm curious, has this been anybody else's experience? I know some of us are not in school. A lot of us are no longer in school. But if this has been people's experience with the restroom door being propped open, or somebody coming and opening of the opposite gender, regardless of which way, and the door being open, is this something that sounds familiar to folks? Okay, I see some folks shaking heads. I see some. You have something to say?
It's like at home. Go ahead. So like my brothers, they be like busting in on me at home, like, and they don't knock. So I don't get privacy for real. And when I tell my mom, she's like, she does something about it, but then she just forgets about it, and they still do it constantly to this day. But when I lock my door, I get in trouble. So.
How does that, I'm curious how that makes you feel, the aspect of like not having the privacy or being busted in on, and then too, the fact of like trying to create that for yourself, but then getting in trouble for it. I know, sorry, that was a lot of words. I'll ask you one at a time. I'm the woman of like threefold questions. So my first question is, how does that make you feel being like busted in on or not having the privacy that you need?
It makes me feel like, I don't know, it just makes me feel weirded out and like failed, because like she's not doing her part to tell them, oh, stop busting in on your younger sister. Like, you don't know if she could be changing. And it's not, they don't just do it to my room, they do it to the bathroom. But I can lock the bathroom door, but if it's not locked, then I'm just like doing my hair, even though that's not really a big deal about me doing my hair, but it's still the fact that you don't knock. Whether the light is on or off, they just don't knock.
Thank you for sharing that, and thank you for being vulnerable. I know that's not easy to share something like that in a room full of people, from the one that looked at me crazy that didn't want to come up. Thank you for sharing. Cool. So I'm curious, as you all were talking for an extended period of time, what other ideas that you all came up with, and who would be willing to come up here and try one of them out for any of our scenes? Come on up. What'd you say? Yep, come on up. You got it. Come on up. Come on up. So what scene, are y'all all good friends? I like that you bring your whole crew. Like, let's go. Yes. So what scene do you want to take it from?
The one where she couldn't play basketball because she's a girl.
Okay, let's do that. All righty, let's give it up. We won't do introductions again. Let's give it up for our actors. Okay.
What's up, Coach?
Hey, what up, Trey? How you doing?
Good. How about you, Coach?
Oh, good. Just paying the bills.
Oh, how about your family? What about sports?
Oh, yeah. We got basketball, soccer, lacrosse, baseball, football, water polo, professional swimming, air hockey, normal hockey. We got about everything. Track.
I would like to sign up for track, basketball, and football.
Okay. Have a nice day.
All right.
Hey, how you doing? I want to try out for the girls basketball team.
We don't have a girls basketball team. We got cheerleading, dancing, and volleyball.
Okay, I'm good on that. Thank you.
I'm sorry. My
Okay,
bad.
so y'all, they got a basketball team. What y'all think I should do? Make my own team? Outside of school? Y'all gonna do it? Yeah. Okay. Okay, so, we done with the scene, y'all. Just in case y'all didn't understand, it was the point that since they didn't have a basketball team for the girls, I was just gonna create my own outside of school. So,
For sharing, thank you for sharing. How would we identify what they tried? Any thoughts? What is just create my own? I know, how do we term that?
As a former athlete, I think it was cool that they were advocating for themselves to try another solution. But I know for me, I probably would have started something to start a basketball team at my school to give me an opportunity to be able to shine. I don't think girls and as being athletes, like, we don't get advocated for with funding and everything else like boys do. Like, it's like, oh, it's not there for you, so you're gonna have to figure something else out. But always getting young ladies to advocate for themselves to either start what it is that they want or to get the funding that they need to get the things that they need.
Thank you for that. So I heard like maybe, starting one after school or seeing what was available there. What else? What other ideas? What would you say that they tried, and if that changed things?
She did not be aggressive toward him. She thanked him. Then she went to her friends to let them know, hey, well, this is what my options are. But I do have a thought. I'm going to start my own thing. So I respect that.
Yeah, it's hard to not let the advocate in me come out and say, yeah, I can't say the words in here, but everybody was like, yes, that's what you should do. But to her point, what I really like is that she was told no, but she walked away and went to her peers and said, what do y'all think we should do? And that's really what advocacy is, like going back to the community to say, they told me no about this. Like, what do you think? What do you think? What y'all think we should do? And so I agree, in the big scheme of things, absolutely, as a former, and I think I'm still a current athlete a little bit, even if I just wear shoes. But there are not enough resources. Those things aren't there. But the idea, I think I'm excited about the fact that you all are, number one, very close to my district. Shout out to Huffley. That's right, Councilman. But the fact that you see it as an opportunity to resolve something, sometimes we're not put in a place or position where we critically think, like we're told no and we stop. But, you know, I can appreciate this forum where you're getting people to think, and particularly the students, to think beyond the no, because we're going to get a lot of no's in life. But no is not an answer. It's just not the one we're looking for, but it's not the answer. So that's what I like, that you, and the idea that you understand advocacy even at this stage. Like, oh, you don't have it? You telling me no? I'll be back. Hold up. I'll be back.
Thank you for sharing that. I like that. No is not the answer. Lovely. Would this work for everyone? Would this work for everyone? And let me go to this section, because I don't think I heard from anybody over there. Micah Green, would this work for everyone? Would this, their solution, just to go start their own team, would that work for everyone?
I think it'll work for some people, but like when you're presented with different issues, it wouldn't work for everyone.
Okay, thank you for sharing that. Anybody else? And again, we're not to say what's posed like is the answer, but you know, what do we think that would work for everyone? I think what you said is true. There are issues that, oh, thank you.
I was just gonna say I agree with what they were saying as far as being self-advocates and being empowered.
Will you press the power button?
It's on. Is it on? Oh, I'm just not talking loud. I'm sorry. I was just saying I agree with what they said, being self-advocates, being empowered, and what the young man just said. It depends on the situation. I guess the original skit, how they played it, some kids could be discouraged, and it lets them know, yes, things like this happen, and we have been defeated. That's it. And they just walk away. Oh, I'm sad, and woe is me. Yeah. But then the other kids who can be uplifted and empowered will go out and say, hey, let's rally. They told me no, we're going to do whatever we want to do, and we'll show them. Then they're going to be coming to us. That empowerment, it spreads. So that's good, too, that some of them have it and can share with their peers, too. So I agree with everybody.
Thank you for sharing that. Thank you for sharing that. Who is next? We're going to take a couple more, and then we will get to the lovely little pieces of paper on your folder. But who is next? Given the issues, I know that's been a little while ago, but given the issues that we first presented in the play, what would you like to see? What idea do you have? Y'all talked for a long time. I know some other people in here have some ideas. Y'all talked for a while. Oh, Jay. You have some ideas you were? I saw you chatting. Come on up, Jay. Let's give it up for Jay. Round of applause for Jay.
I knew you
And
were.
Jay, tell the people what school you go to.
Cornerstone Middle School.
And what grade you're in.
6th.
Thank you, Jay. I appreciate your willingness to come up here with us and act. Which scene would you like to take it from? We have the bathroom, the hallway, and registration, the last one.
Hallway.
The hallway? Okay. Thank you. Let's give it up for Jay.